Afternoon, welcome back to another day. And since it's another day, we're practicing again. Now, I'm going to be honest straight from the beginning. Today was not the day for this, right? I didn't feel like doing this, but I'm happy that I picked it up and I'm doing it now. I'm not relying on motivation to do this bit. So I wanted to put that out there because I'm happy about it. And I hope you find the strength whenever you don't feel like doing something to do it anyways, because that's what we should be doing. We shouldn't let emotions and motivation be the reason for driving us forward, because it's fickle. Now, today we're looking at the pelvis. So I broke it down. I don't want to focus on the entirety of the leg structure because I feel like it'll be all quite complicated. So I think going just for the pelvis today, in itself, it's a very complex shape. So I think we'll take our time with it. But yeah, breaking it down, I think that's the way to go. So make sure you grab your pencils, you grab your paper. We're doing this traditionally today. Again, it's more fun that way. And it's easier. Pick up a pencil and go. Nothing else. So I've got my references, which again, you can find them in the description below. I've put the link to it over there. And yeah, let's get going. Quick little disclaimer, you may be noticing that the video is a bit different. If not, make sure you enable it in your options. I'm doing this in 60 FPS, which I don't normally do. I wanted to try and see what it looks like, whether you guys like it more, or if I like it more as well. So yeah, I'll be doing that. That's, for any of you wondering, that's why the video may look a little bit different when you're watching it. But yeah, without further ado, time to do the pelvis. Right, so to get started, let's show off what we're using today. Tool of choice, this very nice mechanical pencil. TK Fine Vario L from, I do not know how you pronounce these guys. Faber-Castell, that's what I'll call it. Still got the damaged thumb, but let that get in the way. So to start off, we're going to set the timer. I know how to do it this time, so bear with me. I'm going to set it to around 20 minutes. So got it. Let's start it. 20 minutes and we'll get straight to it. I'm going to start breaking it down again. We're doing the male one first, so you can see that pretty well. I can see almost these two circular structures here holding this together. So that's what I'm gonna do straight off the bat. Add these in. Cool. I'm gonna break this down as usual to as simple shapes as I can right at the beginning, because that's just gonna make things a lot easier as we go down the road here. Then we have this going down here. It almost looks like a face at the moment. And then it almost goes inwards. So I've blocked it out, as you can see. And the male pelvis, the difference between the female pelvis and the male pelvis looks like this, and the overall shape of it. Female one is much wider. And yeah, these are similar to the shoulder blade shapes that we were doing in the first lesson. So I'm gonna follow these. How are you guys doing on this, by the way? I hope you're following along with these lessons that we're doing. I know I'm trying to keep up as well. I'm trying to make sure that I get these done. Trying to make sure that I am doing these somewhat regularly. The best way to practice. I honestly cannot wait till we get onto like the actual muscles and actual body, because this is very tedious and it's a very difficult one. I guess it's best to start with the most difficult shapes. Then it's pretty much smooth sailing from then on. That being said, I'm not saying the muscles are going to be any easier. I know they're going to be difficult. But we've got time. We've got a lot of different areas to explore. And we will get to them. So now we're going to fill this in here. Again, I shouldn't be too focused on the details. I should just be focused on the shapes and where I see things. That way we're going to get a lot more information in. I feel like if we focus on the main shapes and don't focus on getting all the details completely right straight off the bat, slowly sculpt this, refine it, and we'll remember the process more. I'm very glad that I've been able to continue this series, because a lot of the time whenever I do something like this, I'll do one episode and then, oh, that'll be it. Nothing else. It will end right there and we'll have nothing else. But with this, it seems to be going fairly well. All right. This up. This is a very complicated shape, and I think the reason why it's so complicated is we're not very used to seeing something like this. It's quite a almost extraordinary, extraterrestrial shape. You know, you don't see something like this very often. It's strange that this is sitting inside of our bodies. It's a very natural shape as well, and nature has very complicated shapes and designs. So I want to break it down a little bit more. I'm struggling to understand it here. I know this bit like almost connects here. The connecting part, and then there's a hole here. So we want to remember to add that in. The hole, which then gets out like this, and this whole thing here that's happening is behind this. So this is, this is behind it. It's hiding it. So we're going to fill it out to be darker in a minute to make sure that we know what we're on about here. And we'll fill this in. Cool. That looks good. It doesn't look great, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I don't know where I put my eraser. That's the worst part. Cannot find it. Oh, I found it. It's behind me. It's on my desk. All right. Very strange. Almost because it is symmetrical, but it doesn't look symmetrical when I look at it on the reference. Maybe I'm using a bad reference. No, I shouldn't blame the tools. All right, I'll fill this in to be darker. And remember, this goes behind there. Goes behind here. I keep forgetting. I want to start these off with practice exercises, but I always forget to do them. Just some line work exercises. But I guess we'll leave those for the next one. I'll try and make a note of it so I don't forget. I believe I have some 2B lead in here, either HB or 2B, but it is very soft right now, so no, sorry, not 2B, B, just B. I have some B lead. Quite a nice one to have. Might be extending that too far, but we'll see in a minute. Also got these really nice pens recently. I actually want to show you guys. Got these, what are they? Uniball 1s by Mitsubishi Pencil. These are very, I don't know what the brand is. It's Uni. It says Uni, but these are very simple. They're gel pens. They're plastic, but they feel very premium. I don't know. Very, very simple, but very nice. I do recommend them. We might use them for some drawing at some point. God, this, I need to put some WD-40 on this chair. Do a little round thing here with the shape. Start building out these structures a little bit here. What I'm not looking forward to at the moment, I'm not gonna lie, is gonna be a difficult one, and that is to combine our knowledge after this in drawing the entire skeleton at once. Now that's not going to be easy, but it's going to be a test of all of the stuff that we're doing here. So, you know, have that to look forward to. And like I said, I hope you guys are following along, because when we get to that stage, I want you guys to do that as well. I want you guys to take this whole test. Make sure that we're growing together. I'm going to extend these a little bit. This out. I think we're doing an all right job here. This here is also set behind, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this out with lines, just so I know that this is behind the shape that we're building here. This pencil has some weird feature, whereas if I press it in, hold on, I can change it. If I press it in, the lead goes in as well. So I don't know what system that's for. Maybe it's for like anti-braking or something. But I know it has it. That's all I know about it. All right, so that's kind of it there. Let's rub this out a little bit. Kind of the shape we're going for. Not an easy one. It's a very complicated one. I guess you could make like an alien head out of this and no one would notice. It's not the perfect pelvis, I guess. Got this side that's going off a little bit more than this side. So we'll try and correct course in the next one. But that's number one. That's the male pelvis. Cool. Female. Now the female. Let's see if I can adjust the camera a little bit so you guys can see down here. Okay, this is a good enough camera angle. All right. The female one, I'm going to start off by drawing a box that I want to contain this in. I feel like that'll make it a little bit easier. The female one's wider, so I'm going to start off blocking this in, trying to use these different shapes to make this easier for myself. That's what it's all about. We're all about trying to make life a little bit easier every day, even with the tiniest things. Now, I don't know if I'm actually going to fit it in this box, but that goes inwards, in, out. God, it is a really strange shape. Very strange shape. Going inwards again. Outwards, inwards, outwards, inwards, outwards. And then this is where here we have like almost a very spiky triangle. This is a lot more spaced out here. I don't think this camera angle is helping. Hold on, I'm gonna adjust to make sure that we're good. And adjust, we did. Has my timer disappeared? No, we're still good. This is a much better angle. I should be doing this from the start. It's a lot more personal. But yeah, this shape is not helping out too much. Also, it is a little bit more difficult to draw like this because I have my arm wrapped around the tripod, so bear with me as I work this out as we go along. I'm sure I'll find a great solution one day to recording these sorts of videos. But the best solution always is to just get started and figure it out along the way. Because planning all this stuff and taking forever with it, just thinking, oh, I'm going to start when I have this or I'm going to start when I have that, you'll never start. That's just the way that the life goes. You won't start. So, best thing you can do anytime, no matter what you have, get started. I don't have a camera at the moment to record these videos, so oh god, okay. I don't have a camera, so I'm using my phone. Oh, great, we're starting to run out of lead. Love it. Let's get a little bit more out here. And with that, there's definitely lead in here. There it is. I think the hardest part with anything that we do is getting started. When you get into a flow, it becomes a lot easier. It takes a lot less motivation to do some things, but it's not always easy. Like I said, today, I wasn't feeling it today, and that's probably going to affect these drawings a little bit. You know, they might not be as perfect as I want them to be, but you know what? It's better that I get them done today than getting them done 2 days after. You know, I'll already be ahead today than I would have been if I left these. So that's why it's important to just get started and just do it. And I am actually struggling with this. That just shows you how much of this knowledge I'm lacking and how much of it I can just improve, which is great because when we're learning, it's the most fun. So the more I learn, the more fun this is. Connecting these parts. I'm glad I'm doing this separately. Very glad. All right, I'm gonna move this up a little bit. Oh yeah, this is way better. Now I don't have to wrap around my entire right. Where are we? At this here. Do let me know what you think of the 60 FPS setup. If that's something that you're digging, if it's enjoyable to watch. I thought it would be nice and smooth for drawings. Might actually look a little better this way, but we'll see. We'll see what time says. Shapes everywhere. Weird shapes. If anything goes superiorly wrong, I hope that's a word in this, we can always correct course by trying again tomorrow. So don't strive for perfection at the moment. Just strive for getting it done, learning as much as you can whilst you're getting it done, and trying again tomorrow, especially on a day like this. You know, we don't always feel 100%. And that's okay. I'm gonna make sure this is darker again so we know this is a shape that's behind rather than in front. So, how much time have we got left? 7 minutes. Oh, no, 3 minutes. God. That's all right. I set the timer to be a bit less than usual, so we have a little bit more time to go. But I don't know if any of you watched the previous video. I mentioned that I want to keep these to about half an hour each, just so it's more digestible for you guys. But occasionally we might go over that time. I know 100% when we start doing the skeleton, like the full skeleton, that is gonna run over that time. But that's okay. It's a difficult topic to handle, so we'll make sure that we give ourselves the proper amount of time to handle it. I want to be a little bit more jagged here because the shape is a little bit more jagged. Got a nice little retractable rubber on this as well, which is awesome. We use that. I do kind of hate sometimes using the rubbers on the pencils because I just know it's going to run out at some point and I'm just going to be like, oh, no. But you can always buy replacements. It's just I feel like they're not as readily available as simple erasers. And I'm not at a stage yet where I feel fully comfortable drawing these with pen because I do... Oh, lost some... Stop it focusing on my hand. Yeah, should have done that from the beginning. That is getting to a good point. It's still very strange and it looks like a strange shape. I feel what I'm getting wrong here is this bit. This bit looks a bit weird on paper than compared to what I'm looking at in the reference. For those wondering, I'll pop the reference up on screen just so we know. At some point in this video, there would have been a reference to this. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier to add that into the videos, but you know, as I said, we learn as we go along. All right, that is looking very pelvisy. Pelvis, Elvis pelvis. I'm gonna get rid of this. So we remove the scaffolding. What I think I might do is a little extra here. Hold on, how much time? We got 41 seconds left. I'm gonna grab a different colored pencil and I'm gonna try and review what we've drawn here to make sure that I'm kind of on the right track with it. This bit. It looks all right. There we go. Time's up. Cool. Time is up. But let's go in with a little review. I have my different colored pencils somewhere here. And it's broken. But that's all right. Let's see. What have I done here that I could have done better? I think these could have gone a little bit more out like this. From what I'm seeing in the reference. I think this shape is where I'm struggling a little bit. To be honest, it's not that far off of this reference, to be honest. I think I'm over-analyzing it a little bit. It's not that bad. I think this looks a little bit weird, but it might look better if we were to add some shading. Definitely shouldn't be as round as it is here. I think it should go in more like this. And same here, a little bit more like this. It's not as visible, the green, but a bit more angular shapes. But yeah, no, that's not too bad. And to have a look, we've got the male one up here, just to remind ourselves of what it looks like. The male one is, as I said, not as wide as the female one. I think here we were able to make these shapes a lot better than on this one. I know they seem to look a little bit better when I'm looking at it. But no, that's pretty good. That's a good practice for today. So this is what we've got. And I hope you got to this stage as well. I hope you're looking at it and being like, okay, you know, I did that. That's a difficult one to get again. So getting far with it is always a big achievement. So yeah, we're gonna leave it here for today. And the next one will be the actual leg muscles. So we'll be adding in the knowledge from this, and we'll be putting it in the legs. So that is the reason why I wanted to tackle this first, because I feel like it'll be good to know this before we get onto the legs. So we've done it. That's another day in the book. Let's see. We're gonna have a look at them quickly as we've gone through. We've got the skulls one that we did recently, and then we've got the arms. So, you know, in terms of overall art performance, we're getting there. We're gradually going up to the more complicated ones. I know the torso was probably the hardest one of all of these, so that is going to require a little bit more practice, and I'm sure we'll go back to it at some point, but I do want to move forward a little bit and start exploring some muscle groups. So next will be the legs, and then after that we might start focusing on some muscles. There's a lot more to go over. I think I want to break things down very separately. So we have the face, then we'll go for like the neck, then the upper torso, lower torso, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I hope you are all following along well, getting along well. This video should be live fairly soon from me doing this, but I'm also gonna work on my actual main one for the channel soon. I just keep enjoying these a little bit more than I'm enjoying those at the moment, so I'm following the flow with these. And yeah, getting in some good practice, and I hope you realize that you're doing some good work here. So make sure you give yourself a little pat on the back for completing these, and yeah, go and practice more, enjoy your day, and keep drawing. I'll see you in the next one.